Welcome back to Sufi Mindfulness Yoga. In this video, we're going to cover a practice that will help us deal with a mental modification that we're going to call right thinking. Now, right thinking involves mental activity associated with an idea that you believe in, an opinion or belief, something that you think is right. Now, if you're trying to meditate, you don't want to have any kind of thoughts in your head. So right thinking is just as bad as any of the other thoughts. So we have to get rid of that right thinking. And the stream of consciousness that's associated with right thinking, we identify as an S sound. And this right thinking generates a pleasant feeling. Everybody feels good when they think they're right. So this S becomes an M. Now this differentiates between just a simple memory, which we also went from an S to an M, and then we could control with a D. Right thinking, being an opinion, is different than a simple memory that's not an opinion. So we need to find a different way to exercise, get rid of this kind of thinking. And we're going to do that with this E sound, or the feeling associated with the E sound, which is a feeling of not being in control. We want to feel that this right thinking goes away. We are not in control. Let it go. Something else is in control. Not us, not our right thinking. We're not telling the world what is right. Something else is in control. Now, so that's S to the M to the E. Now, this process doesn't end right there. What happens whenever you have an idea that you believe is right and you say, but I'm not in control, that generates this emotion, this kind of a buildup, and we have to get rid of that. In order to do that, have that catharsis from this emotion, we have to use an emotion or feeling associated with a sound that is not in English. And there is an Arabic sound that we use here. And that Arabic sound is called the ayin. The Arabic sound ayin is produced as a stop consonant, which does not use the major articulators. Instead, the air is blocked with the glottis, which is the covering over the vocal cords. Now, this sound, whenever you create this sound, it sounds kind of like an emotional catharsis. So it's like you have this lump in your throat and you're getting rid of that lump, is how I would say the sound feels. So we're going to feel whenever we're trying to rid ourselves of right thinking, and we adopt this E feeling of we're not in control, the emotion builds up. We need to release that emotion with this ayin, and that is like a catharsis feeling. So if this would be pronounced or spoken as a Sufi mantra, it would be sami, and this little yeh in the end is the ayin. But what that really is a feeling of release of an emotion. By stopping it, we're blocking our emotion, and when we open it up, we're releasing the emotion. So that's the ayin feeling. And that's sami. Sami is how that would be pronounced. The way we do this in Sufi mindfulness practices is to feel the S first. As we inhale, the S is the idea. We feel the idea that we recognize the mental processes of an idea. It feels good, sami, and then as we exhale, we feel that we are not in control, and the final exhale is releasing that emotion, sami. And so inhale the S, feeling the M, releasing on the E, and then letting go with the ayin. That is the process for right thinking, how we control the right thinking. And it's one that becomes more difficult than the other practices because of this new sound that we don't recognize in English. So it'll take you a little while to understand and feel this, but think of it as a release, emotional release. Okay, so now we've covered in the past videos the 5 practices that deal with the mental modifications identified by Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. Now the Yoga Sutras say that to attain yoga you need to cease the modifications of the mind. Then you can become established in your natural state. Which sounds great. Now we're going to get rid of all the modifications, we should be done, right? No, well, that's not quite the end there, but that's the beginning. The beginning is to rid ourselves of these modifications. Then we can go into deep meditation. And the deep meditation involves 3 steps identified in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And those are concentration, contemplation, and samadhi. And these 3 steps are necessary to build on to become clear in your meditation and to attain yoga. What is yoga? By the definition in the Yoga Sutras, yoga is union with consciousness, universal consciousness, union with God, according to some people who interpret this. My interpretation is more of union with pure consciousness, pure awareness. And so in the next video we will start looking at this concentration, contemplation, and samadhi. How can we attain these states in our practice? Okay? So that's it for this one, and if you need to get more information about this and these processes that we discussed, you can find much greater detail in my book, and you'll see a link for that book down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.